Yeah.
Greetings. What business have you?
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
Come tomorrow morning to the upper castle courtyard and I'll gladly sign you up. I'm certainly not going to do it here and now. And don't forget to bring 3 score groschen with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on up and take a look.
Greetings, good.
Take care.
Bread!
Garlic, onions, mushrooms, and asparagus. Come right up. No need to be shy.
How are you?
Good luck then.
Let's talk about the price.
Well,
What?
Vegetables, fruits, apples, cucumbers, onions. Come together.
I'm on.
God be with you.
Garlic, carrots, beetroot, onions. All grown in the ground. With salt, caraway seeds, garlic, and more.
Yeah.
How are you?
I've got some good.
All right.
I've got...
All right. Good luck then.
I've got some...
All right. See you later.
I've got some goods here.
All right. Take care.
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the Rat Aid tourney?
Greetings.
About betting on...
I'm glad. A nice...
Good luck then.
Yeah.
Called Kipper, a mercenary by profession. Let us wish the combatants...
God bless you.
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
All right. As long as you've got the enrollment stake.
Of course.
I'll write your name down, and I need...
Longsword. I reckon it's what I'm best at.
Good. Get yourself ready. You're next in line. Good luck then. Meeting face to face in this round will be Yera of Benishov, called Kipper, a mercenary by profession, who will measure his skills against Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Welcome, our warriors. All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
Bollocks! Come and get it!
We have a victor in the second duel. He is Henry of Skalitz. As victor in this round, he shall proceed to the next. The first combatant will be Calder o' the Tar, catchpole of the Rat-Eye Bailiff. And his adversary will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Let us wish the combatants luck. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Shit!
And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
Jesus Christ!
Giving up already?
In this round, and shall proceed to the next round. The first combatant will be Cuman, man-at-arms of Sir Hanush of Lipa, who will measure his skills against Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. Let us wish the combatants luck. All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords.
Fucking hell! Shit! Ah! Peace!
The second bout will surely be no less exciting. This one may decide the winner. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
Bugger!
We have a victor in the second duel. He is Henry of Skalitz. Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai tourney, for which we all owe gratitude to Sir Hanush of Lipa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sir Hanush.
There's a murder right inside.
You did it in the end, Henry. No doubt you're well satisfied. And I'm sure you'll be happy with this prize.
I certainly am, my lord. Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Nothing sacred anymore?
Day of judgment.
Yeah. I've come for my winnings.
All right, here's your winnings. Damn it. There'll be another tourney in a week or so. Are you going to give me a chance to win my groschen back?
We'll see. Thanks.
Take care.
I've got something for you. I hope you won't need them, but just in case.
Thank you. Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to. The time passes so quickly with you, Henry. Come and see me again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Sir, my investigation led me back to Skalitz, and I happened across a criminal there. I just wanted to report to you, sir, that I dealt with that murderer. He attacked me and, well, I got the better of him. He won't be doing any more harm to anyone.
That was a brave deed, Henry. Thank you. I see you've been doing an excellent job in my service. I sent a patrol there some time ago, and they never returned.
Sir, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
Well, I thought since we chased the bandits out of Pribyslavitz, the roads would be safer.
Ah, criticizing your liege lord, are you? And what, in your opinion, should he do about it?
Oh no, I don't mean anything by it. Just that it surprises me.
Easy, lad. I'm only pulling your leg. You're quite right. The roads really aren't safe. Mostly due to one thing. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favour, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable, and I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
All right, I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Massacre. It's hellishly deep here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobyla.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got around to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right.
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure.
No problem, Chief.
Take that! You're dead! Kurwa fix!
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool and your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvold Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window and I saw my mother there in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fellow nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching. For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of, but wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after, but of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Behrman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk?
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
A boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough. Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family...
There's all sorts of ways.
Oh.
But it's a long... You see... Anyway.
Well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told. Then, one...
Christ.
Hellish, my sister, a few weeks... It was a week... But... Aye. You're telling...
Should we ride out?
You're keen, aren't you? But we're not riding anywhere in the dark. Come during daylight hours.
All right.
You can sleep here in the camp if you want. There's room enough. And you ought to get better acquainted with the fellas.
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble, but when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right. I'll have a word with him. Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me,
Sometimes they even beat me up, took everything I had. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich gents with jokes, playing the fool. Sometimes someone would throw me a half-groschen. One time, Kuno turned up there, and I got to talking with him. When I told him all the shit I was getting at the bakery, he offered to take me with him.
I bet you were glad to get out of there.
Yeah, though it's not like they give me much peace here either. It's all,
Jakey, come here. Jakey, go there. Jakey, get that.
Well, surely you can't be any worse off here than in the bakery.
no. Only, at the bakery, the worst I ever got was a beating. It's not like my life was in danger. But here, when those Beerman brothers are drunk, I have to keep well out of sight.
How come they bullied you at the bakery? It's usually the shy ones bullies pick on. That's not exactly you.
Not now, maybe. I learned a thing or two since then.
Oh, come on, you shy? You just said you were playing the fool and telling jokes in the tavern.
All right, I'll tell you the truth. They picked on me because I'm an orphan. The parish priest of St. Apollinaire's in Prague found me as a baby in the church one winter's morning. I spent half my childhood in parish houses and half on the street.
I see. That must have been tough.
It still is tough, I can tell you that.
Shit. Son of.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Jakey sent me to you. Something about a ring?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get it from someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it? Does Dangler have it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How should I get it? I got the ring from Dangler. Yeah, well, I suppose there's not much more either of us can say about it. Yeah, thanks to you too. Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper knight for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck, for amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down, took the rope off me, then someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Ah, it's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coin since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. When no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
To tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the two of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma, and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. It's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers?
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and Petter hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you two never had... well,
A normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
How did you and Jan end up with Kuno?
Me and my brother been riding with coinmen since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
Your brother was saying you rode before with some Kalini fella.
He did he? Did he tell you why we finished with him?
Yeah, he said you missed Bohemia.
Ha ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good! Ha ha ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Colini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance, and lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Colini came back and had the two of us dancing on the end of a rope.
Some of them might be tempted to go crush your heads for something instead of war. Exactly. The town is full of Deutsches. Maybe that will settle the Behrman's yearning randomly.
Stefan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Oh, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the two of us. And I'm not one to break a contract.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... Oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way. If you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on!
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching. For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place.
What exactly?
Sorry, I'd love to...
Oh, now you...
Sure.
Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samopesz and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. Feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, perky, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day when the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well then, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined me. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. And it always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, and to the victor the spoils. And so it's always been, but no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Chief, I think there's something going on over there.
Let's go! Behind me, and keep your eyes peeled.
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned grosh back at the camp.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action from close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Futility and human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book and shut the fuck up?
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though. There might be someone hiding out here still. Look for clues and question the survivors, if there are any.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre.
They weren't even armed. Looks like it happened fast. They can't be all that clever or they'd have taken the wagon. God almighty.
Nice blue eyes, but not a bit of silver.
You found anything interesting?
Fuck all. They cleaned him out good and proper. But one fellow was still alive.
And what did you do with him?
Don't you worry. I seen plenty of wounded fellas, and he wouldn't have made it. So, I put him out of his misery.
I see. And did he tell you anything?
He mumbled something about some Lord something. Zool, I think.
Zool? I never heard the name.
Me neither. But I don't know too many nobles. The 20th piece of linen this month.
Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far.
Radish from a corpse supposed to bring good luck.
No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals.
They turned the place over good and proper.
Kuno will want to know about this. Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They were avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too. Well weighed down.
Oh, they can't move too fast then.
No, and what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either that, or they dragged off some poor bastard from here.
Nice work. Thanks. Did the raiders leave any tracks?
Well, they came from the northwest. A horse or two and a few men on foot.
Anything else?
No, nothing.
Kuno, your men are robbing the dead.
What did you expect, Henry? Old habits die hard. And most of the lads ain't had an easy life.
Or maybe it's time they turned over a new leaf then.
You ought to be a priest. Try telling them yourself then, if you want to hear some choice swear words.
Would you stop doing that?
You think they'll have any use for this stuff?
That's not the point. Robbing the dead isn't right.
That's what you say. I say it's all the fucking same to them. They're dead. And Prague Groshen are worthless in Lombardy. Never mind in the hereafter.
I'm telling you for the last time, stop it.
And I'm telling you for the last time, I see no reason why I should.
You call yourself a Christian, and you're robbing the dead.
They've no use for anything, and I have to eat.
I've seen your camp. It doesn't look to me like you want for anything.
Not now, but a man's got to have something to secure his future.
And what did you take from that corpse?
A wooden spoon and some string.
Oh, great, you can retire right away. I hope it's worth your immortal soul to you.
You're a bit holier than thou, ain't you? But all right, they ain't got nothing worth a damn anyway.
I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders. They might not have gotten very far yet.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
creature, hunted down like game. Looks like they carried away a lot of stuff. They went this way. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. Well, at least I know which way they went. There they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I tracked down those raiders.
You did? Well, nice work. So where are they?
A short way to the east, in a glade in the woods. They're dividing up their loot.
How many of them are there?
About 10 or so.
10? Fuck, I don't like those odds. I'll tell the lads we're gonna deal with them. Nice and quiet. Hey! To me, now! Listen up! Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot, not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
Quiet as the grave, as the stone would say.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one since... Let me see.
At a loss for words, are you?
Stop it, please. Or I'll split my sides laughing.
I'd feel sorry for the stone. Imagine not being able to insult your enemy's mother.
Ah, big mouth Jakey makes up for it.
I don't know how you managed without me for so long.
Who was it needed their back covered last time?
Jakey.
Jakey.
Fuck you. I don't need minding.
We all cover each other's backs. That's how this band works.
Get used to it.
I've no intention of getting myself killed by a bunch of bandits who pillaged a farm for cabbage.
Well, I don't know. You might get mistaken for a cabbage yourself.
Aye, he's green enough.
I'll cover you, Jakey. Got it?
Thanks a lot, Fletch.
What's the matter? Come on!
Right, we'll have a look around here for, clues. Meanwhile, Henry, you go and report to Radzig.
God be with you, Henry. Greetings. What business have you?
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merhayed.
Christ! It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
Now, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. Anomious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslaus's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zuls and a neighbouring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zuls had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad. I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a lot.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zuls and another family. The Zuls were clearly in the wrong, but refused to accept my ruling. So, I hanged the head of the family, razed their castle to the ground, and confiscated their property. Ever since then, they've had it in for me, not surprisingly.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure. Take care.
Yeah. Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you. Tell me, son, got your eye on some nice wench? True. There ain't many. Remember those three sisters in Colleen? What were they called again? Yeah, and Katka. One blind, one deaf, and the other dumb. And we could only get the blind one to go for you. Poor lass. Probably took you for an idiot. And you're the only one of us who can read and write proper. You can't blame us for trying to spice up your life a bit. Did you give her a kiss at least? All right. Just asking.
Henry, come here.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
That's a very tricky matter, I can tell you. Them Zuls are well known among us mercenaries. Hagen and his two brothers fought in the Margraviate Wars. That's quite a feather to have in your cap. On the other hand, they've got their weaknesses.
Like what?
They still like to think of themselves as high and mighty lords. Kuno got over that, thank Christ, and he treats us all like equals.
You think Hagen's men have no great love for him?
Well, I'd say they're running before his whip more than following his flag, if you understand me.
Aye. I see what you're getting at.
Radzig's man. Come here. I want to ask you something.
Hey, mate!
Stefan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
I'd say you and Sir Radzig are very fortunate to have Kuno on the job. He's a master at handling such matters.
Is he? Why's that?
Dealing with bastards like Hagen Zul demands both courage and sharp wits. It's not a commonplace combination, but Kuno has both in abundance.
What's it about, Stefan?
Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted to see. I heard you got the ring from Dangler and gave it to the stone.
Maybe.
Let's not beat around the bush. I could use your help too. I think the stone has had the ring long enough, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't want to go rummaging in anyone's belongings. Not this dangerous lots, anyway.
Nah, don't worry. I'll take care of that part. I need you to do something else. I want to steal the ring from the stone while he's asleep. But that fella sleeps with one eye open. He needs a little help with sleeping soundly. And I've got a feeling you're the kind of man who knows how to arrange that kind of thing.
Sure. I'll bring you some sleeping potion.
Great. I knew I could count on you. And if you happen to come across that ring, all the better.
Good.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
Well, I'm worried Kuno is underestimating Hagen. I was at the siege of Lansenbach with the both of them, so I know a thing or two about it. Hagen's got all these noble airs and graces. These knights that talk of honor and glory. Kuno reckons they're like lost lambs on the battlefield, and he's usually right. But that Hagen ain't no lamb. He's a cold-blooded killer, by all accounts.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
Hagen Zul? Who's that?
That robber baron who's been pillaging Sir Radzig's estate. Didn't Kuno tell you?
He did. But then he says a lot of things. Zul, Radzig, Sokol and Hinek of Kravan, Wenceslaus, Sigismund. It all goes in one ear and out the other. What do I care? Ride somewhere, kill some fellas, have a drink, and go to sleep. If you're lucky, it won't rain while you're at it. That's all.
Why are you waking me? Go away. So, tell me, Stone, what's your eye on?
Tell me something. What do you...
Henry, I want to have a word with you.
Stefan. What do you...
Dealing with...
What's it about?
I want to... And I...
Can you tell me... What do you... That...
Rods.
Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zool?
Zool? Huh. I'd rather keep that to myself. But since you're the only one who's interested in my opinion, I'll tell you. I reckon Radzig's making a big mistake. I might not be grown up yet, but I've walked in these shoes long enough to know that asking a mercenary to do something for nothing is stupid.
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Never mind. It's just a feeling I have. If Kuno heard me talking about it, he'd tan my hide.
All right, we'll drop it then. Tell me... What... Can you...
Why not?
What, like...
They still...
You think...
Well...
Aye.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing? You're robbing folk! Can you tell...
What do you...
What do you... That...
Rods.
Tell me...
What do you want?
What do you think...
Hey, want to get...
What? All right. Can you tell me something?
Why not?
Like what?
They still...
You think...
Well...
Aye. What's... Sure. Stop. What?
Yeah.
Greeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got that potion for you. A few drops in the stone's drink and he'll sleep like a baby.
I hope not. Babies have a tendency to shit themselves and wake up screaming.
I'd been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
We'll do that. But it will soon be too dark for patrolling, Henry. Come at first light.
Sure. I'll do that.